Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, how are you? Fine. So today we're going to learn about a new topic, which is thermal decomposition. So, any of you guys know about this topic?
Miss, what is thermal decomposition?
So, thermal decomposition is like this. Let me explain.
Thermal decomposition is a chemical decomposition caused by heat. In a simpler term, thermal can be described as the splitting up of a compound by heating it. The reaction is usually endothermic because heat is required to break chemical bonds in the compound undergoing decomposition. When we talk about the trend of thermal decomposition in group 1 and 2 compound, the thermal stability of group 1 compound is greater compared to group 2 compound due to different electrical charge. Electrical charge of ions in the same group are constant. Charge density is the measure of electrical charge per unit volume of space. Going down the group, ionic radius increase, so the size of ion increase. Therefore, volume of space increase. The charge density of ion will decrease. Hence, cation distorting effect on anion decrease. The compound decomposes less easily. This is because the thermal stability increases. Thus, the amount of heat required to decompose the compound increases. Let us take beryllium carbonate and radium carbonate as examples. Beryllium ion has small ionic radius, so it has small size of ion. Therefore, it has small volume of space. Since that beryllium is in group 2, it has electrical charge of positive 2. Beryllium ion has high charge density. Hence, beryllium ion has high distorting effect on carbonate ion. Compound become easier decomposed to beryllium oxide and carbon dioxide. Less heat is required to decompose the compound. Radium has greater ionic radius compared to beryllium, so it has bigger size. Therefore, greater volume of space. Radium has same electrical charge as beryllium, thus lower charge density. Radium ion has weak distorting effect compared to carbonate ion. The compound is less easily decomposing to radium oxide and carbon dioxide. Greater amount of heat is required.
I'm sorry, miss, but I'm still don't understand.
You don't understand? So, I think I will give you guys an analogy about this topic.
This is a story about Mr. Alif and his family. This is Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma. Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma are the parents of 3 lovely children, which are Azmel, Beatrice and Zal. Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma looks like any other ordinary couple of their age, supportive and would tolerate with their children. However, looks could be deceptive. Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma would never tolerate with youngsters who are in a relationship, especially if it involves their children. One day, Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma was taking an evening walk around the park. Little did they know about the surprise that awaits them in the park.
Look at the beautiful lake.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Do you still remember the song that I sang to you last year?
Yes, it's so nice. Oh my god, who is that?
Isn't that our son,
Let's check it out.
Azmil?
Oh no! It looks like Azmil, the couple's eldest son, was caught and involved in a relationship. Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma continue their walk at the park where another surprise awaits. As Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma left their youngest son and continued their walk, the parents were so frustrated with both of their sons. However, while Mrs. Emma was expressing her frustration to her husband, the couple in front of them caught their attention.
I can't believe he would be dating right now.
You should be studying right now.
I know. Wait, is that Zal?
Our youngest son?
Oops, my parents. Oh! What is going on with our kids nowadays?
I don't know. We should ground them.
I agree.
Not them too.
At home, while Mr. Alif was reading newspaper, Mrs. Emma was scrolling down her Facebook. Mrs. Emma expressed her concern about kids nowadays who got involved in relationship and neglecting their studies to her husband. Being a strict parent, they decided to end their children's relationship by offering them the latest and most desirable stuff.
Honey, look at this. Look at the kids on social media. They are dating, hanging out, and they have been neglecting their studies nowadays.
This will affect their studies in the future.
Yes, I agree.
Then we should stop them.
But how? I'm worried about the kids.
Oh, I have an idea.
What is your idea?
Perhaps we could end their relationship by giving them something?
Yes, it could be possible.
Their youngest son, Zal, enters the room along with his girlfriend Soleha after being called by his parents. They offer him fidget spinner and in return, he needs to break up with Soleha.
You two should break up. If you don't want, how about this?
The parents' effort to end the children's relationship represents the heat required to decompose the compound. Zal, 9 years old, represents the smallest ion in group 1 and group 2. This ion has the smallest volume of space, therefore highest charge density. Zal and his girlfriend Soleha represent the first compound. Beatrice and her boyfriend Fikri represent the second compound. Beatrice refused to leave her boyfriend and so the parents offer her a fidget spinner. However, she loves Fikri so much. Beatrice rejects the fidget spinner, but her mother was way smarter. She offered her something that she's always wanted all this time, a brand new and latest laptop. Beatrice was in dilemma. It's either her new laptop or Fikri. In the end, as expected, Beatrice chose the laptop over Fikri and it was the end of Beatrice's love story with her beloved boyfriend. Beatrice, 12 years old, represents the medium-sized ion in group 1 and group 2. This ion has the larger volume of space, therefore lower charge density compared to the ion of the first compound. After succeeding in ending the relationship of their first two children easily, Mr. Alif and Mrs. Emma are determined to end their eldest son's relationship. They then went to meet Azmel.
Azmin, you should break up Hazika.
At first, they offered him fidget spinner. Sure enough, he rejects it. Being well prepared, the parents offered a combination of PS4 and a brand new laptop for Azmel. Surprisingly, Azmel rejected the combo as well. Azmel then left his parents and to meet with Hazika who had already waiting for him. Azmel, 15 years old, represents the largest ion in group 1 and group 2. This ion has the greatest volume of space, therefore lower charge density compared to the ion of the first and second compound. Azmel and his girlfriend Hazika represent the third compound. Later that day, when Azmel was back from his date, he saw that his parents was already at the staircase of their house. His father was holding his bag.
Azmil, break up with your girlfriend or get out of this house. Okay, sorry, Mom, Dad. I promise I will break with her.
The effort used to break Azmel's relationship was the highest compared to Zal and Beatrice. Therefore, this represents that much more heat is required to decompose the third compound compared to the first and second compound because it has the lowest charge density of anion, giving it the lowest distorting effect to cation. The compound has the highest stability and thus making it harder to decompose compared to the other two ions.
So now do you guys understand the concept? Yes, please. So good. So I hope this can be really meaningful things that you learn in your life. So okay, that's all for today. Class is peace.
I used to feel so